Hey, it's just so Trish, and I've been trying to get this video all morning done for you, and it's about 40 minutes left to the morning and it's done. Oh. So, I don't know, just a lot of different little things going on. You know, one of the things I've been trying to do and keeping the balance between the schoolhouse and the house and living tiny and figuring out how it works. And I don't know if you have this, if you have like a school room or you school in your dining room, if it's a constant like battle to balance your workspace. I guess as a homeschool workspace. So for me, I have 6 kids, 5 are technically in school, and we live in a small home. Tiny because of the fact it's less than 100 square foot per person. I'm gonna move, don't worry, I'm gonna move down there. So this morning, I keep trying to put in my schedule or trying to create a routine. We'll talk, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, give me a minute. Can you give me a minute?
Okay.
Okay. So, think for a minute. Trying to figure out a schedule or a routine. So I'm more of a routine person, and I'm really good with routine if I don't have other people in my life messing with my routine. So like before kids, I'm routine oriented, totally have a routine. Since kids, I've tried to do a schedule so many times, it doesn't work. Then to go into trying to do more of a routine, I can hold on to that. But really in the last few years since the house flooded and we've been back and forth living in turmoil, transition, not really turmoil. Turmoil's, I think, a state of mind. It has been so hard to like really maintain anything without absolute, like I have to be on it. So I'm going to give you kind of a breakdown how I'm kind of doing what we do. So this year we have done classical conversations with 3 kids in foundations, 1 in essentials, and 2 in challenge A, and I'm directing challenge A on top of it. I know a lot of you are like, I cannot believe you have stuck with it. Commitment, man. If I'm held accountable that I'm committed to somebody else, I am more likely to be committed. So we were doing school in here and it was getting a little bit overwhelming, and I decided to move school out into the schoolhouse. And my friend Erin always likes to tell me, she's like, you're like 100% everything. You got to ease into stuff. And really kind of realizing that's been a problem where I just try to do everything. It's like all or nothing. And I don't mean to do that, but it just tends to be my tendency, all or nothing. We'll blame it ADHD. It's probably not ADHD. It might just be my character, you know. What is it? What does Peter Rabbit say? Well, that's my character flaw. Anyway, so I try to do everything in the schoolhouse, and I'm starting to realize there's like this beautiful witching hour that happens first thing in the morning that I'm not tapping into because we're in here and our schoolwork's out there. And there's a beautiful witching hour late at night that we're not tapping into because our schoolwork's out there. And I'm realizing I need to like break up my homeschool day and not, and you know, that public school attender that I still have this mentality that you sit down at school at 9 a.m. and you don't get up until you're done at 3 p.m. And I've been homeschooling 10 years. I should know like that's not what it needs to be. But I tend to fall back into that. And really most of my learning took place while I was in college, and college was much different from that. You know, you had certain times you went to certain classes and then you were done and you had breaks and you might do your work at night, and it wasn't one steady flow of your day. And I have been trying to really build that into my life to do better. So let's just say the ideal aspect is I've split up and created these 2 little sections called my morning work and my evening work for my kids. And the reality is on those 2 works, it's the mundane, because remember, I'm trying to celebrate the mundane. The mundane is where we really build habits. We get good at, that's the practicing of things. And so I'm really building the mundane, the things I need to really account for them, and they need my help, are those witching hour topics. would be the best way to come up with it. I don't know. I'm figuring it out as I go. And this is just what I've come up with so far. So one of the things we've been working on is we're not good memorizers. And as I've been studying classical education, I'm realizing you can't like skim over that at all. You have to learn how to memorize, and you have to do it. Sorry, I'm going to get my coffee. You have to do it. That's like the main component of classical education. That's the very beginning. That's the grammar. You have to know the vocabulary. He wants to unmemorize some of his memories. Especially, so right now he's doing the Jurassic Park. Yes. Okay, let me sit down and get my coffee. Try not to make that a long one, but you know, whatever. So, let me remember what I'm doing. So what I've tried to do is bring home. It takes practice. Hold on. So what I'm trying to do is actually work on doing memory work and really bolster memory work. But also, I'm not very content with my kids' handwriting. And that's one of those mundane things I have not stuck to. Very, you know, you wrote to get the answer down, but, you know, so it exhausts them to write. We've talked about this before, where it exhausts them to write. They're not really wanting to write because they're not so well versed in it that it comes so naturally. Except for you. It's requiring practice. So one of the ways I'm kind of taking care of that and just putting us into the mind of doing schoolwork is when I get them up, I have them do copy work. And I've been listening to a lot about the ability for self-control to copy something off a board and onto your notebook. It takes a lot of self-control, concentration, attention to detail. So I started in making that happen. My copy work, I'm borrowing from the CC Foundation's history sentences. So I'll show you right there. So about every week, I just write it on the board on here, and I just stick it up there, and we work through it. This is trying not to be a super long video, I'm sorry. So we try to work through it, and then I'll go through, did you remember your correct capitalizations? And for the most part, they're doing them in cursive. And I'm asking them to. I'm not asking my little ones. I'll show you what that looks like. That they do. Another aspect that I've done, grab two of them. I will quickly drag all of my curriculum back in here. I don't know what it is, but I am really good at dragging every bit of curriculum right back in here. I don't mean to, but I just do it. I know, just hold on, Orville. So let me grab some of my pieces. One of the other aspects, this is a super good deal from Walmart, Sony. It's the, it has the CD player. So this helps out. We weren't listening to these because it just seemed difficult. If I can play it in the DVD player, but I have to use the TV to access it, just putting this little boom box here, all the difference in the world to actually listen to our music for doing CC. And not that I'm trying to be like a full CC. All right, answer keys over here. I had to move the answer keys because it doesn't help you if you don't have the answer keys. All right. I know, I should have prepped better before starting this video. Call me a novice YouTuber. So I will have that, and then I also have, let's grab the iPad. My poor old sickly iPad. Gotta have the iPad. And then let me grab Orville's. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Be a little bit more prepared. I'm not that prepared. I'm still winging it. And what happens is I'll go out into the schoolhouse and I'll be like, I need this. And I just start gathering so much stuff. So I asked them to do the copy work in the morning. My daughter, I love this. I wish she would use this as her planner. It just has and worked out. But you can get them at Walmart for like $10. But so it's just fine. But look, it has all of the dates in here. So at first we were using it. We did it as like her method of tracking what she did each day. And she tried to fit like more. And there's plenty of pages in here. It would definitely work to do more. But because, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, that didn't work, we need to use it up. So she just writes her cursive in here. So sometimes she'll print it first. Sometimes, let's see, what did we do here? Sometimes she can't find her math notebook and she just puts her math in there. We try not to make a habit of that because that drives me crazy. But we do the cursive and then we do spelling. So there's her spelling list. And my son has the same part. His handwriting has gotten so phenomenal lately. And it's nothing beautiful. Sometimes I have him write it 2 times the memory work. I know you can't really see that well. The memory work. And sometimes just once is enough. Sometimes, I think today was, he wrote it, I marked mistakes, and then this wasn't it. This wasn't it. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday's. So then I said, let me show you how I would write it. Now write it 3 times, just the top line. So we just use this to work on our cursive. Sometimes there's a math problem in here too because we can't find our paper. Some days we work on math fact sentences because we're getting rusty. But so I try to set their mornings off like that. That's the goal. That's the goal. The goal is to set their morning that they begin with the copy work. So before they're completely awake, they're just kind of very, you know, we're trying to use those passive brain waves to do the copy work. They do the copy work and then they should be awake enough to do spelling. My way of doing spelling is Spelling Plus. I bought this at the beginning of the year. I wasn't quite sure. I bought Spelling Workout instead because I'm like, I felt like I have to make photocopies. This has very much been feeling like stick in the sand. I know. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I'm starting to get the CC lingo, the classical education lingo. But the whole goal is not to just more and more. And you know how much I love more stuff, more stuff, more stuff. And this has been very helpful to keep it very limited. I just have tabs in here on where everybody's at. And, oh, here comes little people. You need to get the hay out of the back of my van.
Okay.
Okay. So I just open it up and whatever lesson they're on, I just open it up, I hand it to them, and they just write it 3 times. That's all I'm asking, nothing extravagant. Write it 3 times. Every so often we'll go over the notes about why things are spelled that way and other things that are spelled similar and things to think about. We'll write that, and that's it. And then when I feel like they've gotten it, I mean, there's no science here. I'm not sticking to a schedule on that aspect. I will quiz them, and I'll let them move out of that list into the next list. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm trying to do these, and this is kind of more the evening work that we're doing. This is just dictations, and it will tell you, like, after this list, here's 16 dictations. So what I do is I just do 2 at a time. And when they graduate a list, if we didn't finish these, I don't care. I just move on 2 at a time. And we work on dictations. And it's good, too, because it helps that audio retention. All right, so that's my morning. My morning is, I want you to start your day off, and I want you to do your copy work. I want you to do your spelling, and I want you to do your math. He's right behind me. He's like wanting a whole conversation. We're going to come bring your pictures. Let them see your picture.
So the third time I told
Here,
the
let me hold it for
movie,
them.
the third I told the movie, I told a tail. So I did Danny did like the watching movie.
Okay. So, Thank you.
Get a dinosaur mouth.
That's a dinosaur.
When I did it, I would tell you.
When you finish? Okay, show us when you finish. So we've been doing that. The whole goal is that we have this done before my tiny little people wake up. Because my tiny little people wake up and everything's different. Well, this morning was one of those mornings we did not wake up that soon at all. And we just bought this little one because my little guy is orange. That little guy. And I decided, you know what? You're already up. You're sitting on the couch with us. You should be writing too. So this actually says part of the history sentence is the first sentence of the memory work here. And all I did was highlight it. And he traced the highlighting. The next part I did, I decided to kind of jump on this. I don't know how far it's going to take us, but I did. I just went and did the list number 1. List number 1 for the spelling plus is am, and, at. And then it has a bunch of words that go, you know, like bat, tam. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh. So they're in my office. They're in my office in the box. It's green.
Okay.
Okay. So I just have him working on that. He's just tracing, but hey, we're doing pencil control. We can call it handwriting. We can call it a lot of things. And I'm like, this is good. We'll do this. We'll add him to our little regiment. Hold on. I'm going to sneeze again. Hopefully not. So that's our morning. So hopefully we start this around 6:30 and they're out of the house by 8:30. They then get to eat their breakfast. They go do their chores and get a little physical break before moving into their actual CC work that they'll do at the schoolhouse. They'll do their CC work and they'll do their 4-H work at the schoolhouse. Somebody's not getting what she wants. And we'll do that. One of the next things I decided to try out, and it's already turning out really well. I love these. You know, you can get a 4-pack from the Dollar Tree. Love these little guys. Is doing an awards program. I have never been a big awards program. You should do it because I said you should do it. But I started doing an awards program in the Challenge A, and I am so amazed how motivating it has been. And so I'm like, well, if it's that motivating, then I maybe should do it here. So this one is Orville's. They're all coming in and out of the house. You have... So I have a list on the back of it to remind mostly me of what I can give him a sticker for. Doing his copy work, which is in that orange book. Doing his spelling, which he did today, was in the orange book. We have our CLP, Christian Light Education.
Why don't you told them what in the book?
I already showed him what was in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then we have the workbooks, the Rod and Staff A through, I think, F. And I have the K2 from Christian Light Education that he can work on. And if we work on those, there's a sticker. On top of those, I also have Matthew C. And if we work on those in that book, we'll get a sticker. And then I also have memory work. So a lot of the memory work we're doing in foundations for him really is just setting the tone to just kind of get a concept of the songs, not necessarily to memorize it, but to do it he needs to attend to his activities. So what I have is go home. I went ahead, I wasn't sure how I was going to use this, but I bought the Cycle 1 in here, and this has been so helpful because now he can go through the he can go through that week's lesson 2 times on his own without waiting for somebody, and I'm going to give him a sticker. And then, of course, we have his chores, like brush your teeth, make your bed, get dressed, put your clothes away, and we'll give the stickers. Now, my reward is I'll take him to Dollar Tree. I kind of am the winner on that one. So that's our morning, and I'm trying to get us up and going and doing it. Today was a slow one, meandered, but it helps me still be in the house to get dishes done, to like get food. I can't tell you how many times I feel like everything here is being neglected because we went outside to the schoolhouse. The afternoons, the evenings are still, again, we redo copy work, and I might be doing the spelling dictation then. And then what I'm trying to put in is actually the essentials for all of us to do the essentials. So I have the essentials here. You can only get this book, this notebook, if you're actually enrolled in CC Essentials. And this has your analytical task sheets. And it's about breaking down the words. I have to say, of all the grammar programs I've ever dealt with, this one is my favorite. I don't know. It could be because well, I like it because it's a very easy to go use. Everybody uses one book. You don't buy another book ever again. I will say, if you visit the antiquatednotions.com, can you see that? Oh, I wish it would. I don't think it's going to go in. She has Minecraft sentences for all 24 weeks that, you know, you can change the sentences up if you need to change them up. What's really cool about the Essentials program in here is it has your spelling work. It's actually, oh, you're done with it? You're going to shut off? It's right out of here. There's his, that is so cool. Good job, Orville. I know he's been copying it off the back of there.
No, the other side.
All right, hold on.
The other side.
It comes out of here. It even has editing. It has all the spelling rules. You can use them right in here. It has everything you need.
That was T-Rex.
That was a T-Rex.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm trying to set.
Another dinosaur.
I'm trying to set up our evenings to go through that, where we again go back through memory work. I'll have to do another video. All right, hold on. Where you go through, I'm going to go through and kind of help my challenge kids list out what their real memory work is. It's a little bit more camouflaged in challenge than it is how foundations just straight up, here's your memory work. But I want to help them really grasp that. Do their copy work, do our dictation, this should only take us 15 minutes. We need to do this in 15 minutes. I need to not turn into a full lesson and then squeeze in a little read aloud time.
Well, you done it here.
You're going to put it back there so they can see it?
Yeah.
I like it. So, that's what we've been going on. I have to do a quick show and tell, though. I was at CC, and one of the moms pulled out her, like, little, this is from Michael's recollection, but she's doing the Dave Ramsey, and I just saw it, I'm like, I have one of those. I could do something with that. And then I see Nikki's A Farmhouse Full, and I was like, oh. So, I have to tell you, I had to pull mine out. And
I want to do them with fire doing a donut. And it's this bite.
Okay. I wanted to show you how much I've been loving. Alright. How much I've been loving. I've been making these like little bookmarks. And I'm loving the ability to make my little bookmarks. And laminating them. I even started putting like all my topics, and I really like the idea. I really was inspired by what Nikki was showing, what she did, and taking ideas and just trying to like track things the way we go. So I even made a today one, and that's my handwriting. I'm getting so much better as I've been asking my kids to copy work. I have been getting so much better. So there's my today, so I can grab where I am and kind of give myself little reminders. I was trying to think of stuff. I could not think of stuff at the moment when I made it, but I just went through all of my Happy Planner stickers, and then I have our May Day. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. My May Day that I organized for our community, so I can put all my ideas on there. And one of the things I like is I actually stuck those prioritize, don't forget to buy, so I can put post-it notes there and kind of keep track of that. I did the same thing here for like our 4-H, just to kind of remind me of the to-dos, and I plan on using a sticker. I've decided to try and maybe not put myself on a full budget, but to put myself at least tracking what I'm buying and classifying it. Then I made one for classical conversations for all the stuff I need to keep track of classical conversations. I made a Just So Trish divider. Yeah, I made a Just So Trish divider. And then I plan to make one for our actual homeschool. So I have this like little idea. As I'm going through my day today and I'm making my schedule and coming up is like, here's my morning, and then in the back I'll put my evening
Maybe
work
I have
in.
to show them how boy I make.
But I don't. Yep. But I don't feel like I need to keep like the stuff and foundations. But I can keep a running tally just on the paper. And now this paper is just extra graph paper I have sitting around that I hole punched. I just hole punched it. And I could kind of possibly use something like this with just kind of a blank sheet mentality. And why it's better than just getting a notebook and doing it, I will get myself so crazy neurotic that it's not in the right spot. And so the idea that I can flip them out and move them is really good, but yet it's still small enough I can fit in my little handy purse has been so nice. So I'm working on some of that. So that's just, anyways, a meander. So there's 25 minutes of your life. Hopefully you hit fast play and you didn't have to listen to me just ramble obsessively. But this is just kind of our way of trying to find that balance to where and when we should be doing things, and we don't have to look like the typical school. So what are ideas that you're using in your house, and how can you give me any ideas? I'm still growing.
You do it a lot more than one.
We're still mastering this process even after a decade. I swear sometimes I'm like, if I'd only known now what I know then, but good thing I didn't. I would have been so overwhelmed, and at the same time,
still me after this. We're gonna make a lot more.
We're gonna make a lot more. So anyways, give me a thumbs up if you can definitely feel like if this hits home on a few things. And it's just, I'm doing my best to simplify, and I can't tell you how many times I try to simplify, and it just gets to become more and more without meaning to. So I will talk to you later. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it. We can do this. I'll talk to you later. Love ya.